first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed, because right now, every order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a MyPillow or not, you need to get the brand new MyPillow 2.0. Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
Visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my original My Slippers are back in stock. You've made them a huge success, and now I've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. And with your promo code, you still save $90 a pair. Not only that, I'm having the biggest closeout sale ever on our sandals and slides for as low as $19.98. What makes My Slippers different is my exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help reduce stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen now. Use your promo code to save $90 on my original My Slippers, or for as low as $19.98, you can get our sandals or slides. Quantities won't last long, and with my 60-day money-back guarantee, you can rest assured they'll be the most comfortable footwear you'll ever own.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Man, look at that shot of Aaron and Fred in the control room at the America First Warehouse. Look at that. The boys are all here. Real America's Voice on a Friday night. Live, as I said, from the America First Warehouse. Joe the Box and staff could not be more welcoming to have us over here. Martin and the whole crew have been so great all week getting prepared tonight. It's a little test run here. And man, we're going to blow it out here in a couple weeks. Friday nights are going to be fun. So we're happy to be here. Glad you're in on a Friday, Real America's Voice, and across, of course, all social media, wherever you're watching, YouTube, X, Rumble, Kick. Facebook, wherever you're in, YouTube. We appreciate you being here over live from Studio6B.com as well. The boys are all here. Rick Delgado, Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, Vinnie Mac, all in the house. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good. I'm good.
We haven't been here since election night.
I know, since election night when
He's a real wordsmith.
No, he's good. He's good.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Haven't been here since election night. I'm good.
Bueller.
I'm good.
Bueller.
I feel good. I feel good. I feel pumped.
It was wild here election night.
Crazy.
And we're back.
Yeah. I can't believe they let us back in the building.
I'm actually surprised myself, quite frankly, but here we are. Kevin Downey Jr., how are you?
I'm groovy. Thank you, Big D.
Pull that mic a little closer to you.
I'm one of those guys that usually like to sleep in, but not since Trump got back in office.
Yeah.
Because it's always great news. It's a great breakfast, and then by lunchtime he's clown slapped someone else, and it just goes along. And then he does something at night. Maybe he sends a True Social, and I wake up and there it is, and it's like, my God, it's great to be alive again.
Yeah, they are busy. They are constantly on the move, for sure, for sure. Paul Nolan, how are you?
I'm good. Nice joint.
Now, you were not with us on election night here.
No, that's right. I couldn't watch them rig another election, so I
they did.
took the whole family to see David Gilmour at the Garden, and the whole family was instructed, keep your phones in your pocket. This stuff was expensive, and I don't want to know what's going on, so keep me out of it because I can't watch it happen again.
No therapy, though. You've been good. No therapy needed.
Remember, I texted you on the train home?
Yes.
I'm like, please tell me there's a landslide. Tell me we're okay.
I'm like, yes, things are good, Paul. Things are good. So, Vinnie Mac, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's exciting to be here, man. I loved it. This was a magical night, right? Election night. We had probably one of the best nights of our lives here, and I put new batteries in my pacemaker. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you haven't seen the America First Warehouse, Vin, how would you describe it?
This is a tribute and a shrine to Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, number one. You walk around here, everywhere there's an image that says something meaningful about Trump, the run-up, him getting shot, all of these things, and merchandise. It's amazing. It's an amazing studio to do a show like ours in a place that's so dedicated to what we're dedicated to, which is reporting the news and current events, but also supporting the MAGA movement. And that's what this place is about. And they got good steak sandwiches, from what I hear, from Slick. Yes. Slick's been talking about that since election night.
Yeah, we had they had the food truck here on election night, and we may have it again for like the full launch of this show with an audience here.
Sparing no expense.
Yeah. And Vin, you'll be buying all the steak sandwiches, I hear.
I will be getting you a feta cheese sandwich, which is really good. You're going to like that.
Okay, very good.
Hey, D, can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, anybody can jump in whenever you want. It's a free-for-all here.
The best thing about the America First Warehouse is during the dark days, the darkest days of Joe Biden, as we're watching pro-lifers get hauled off to jail for doing next to nothing, as we're watching a pastor have his door kicked in, and all this nonsense. I had the 4 S's on my, I got on a plane, got the 4 S's, as a lot of us at PJ Media did, for no reason. And coming here just to be with patriots and people who are on your side, I can't tell you how this place saved my life and Jessica's life, because we were in the gutter. And every time something came up, we're like, here it comes. They're going to kick in our door next. And if you want to be around patriots, right here. And we just would leave here smiling and happy.
Yeah,
it got us through all that.
I think that's well said. I think that's absolutely well said. And there wasn't many places that were like that, by the way. Very few places you could go.
Yeah.
That were like this place was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one. You know, I realized after that, though, because I felt like we were like, one in a million sort of being here with this crowd. And then as soon as he won, I felt a lot of camaraderie outside of here and inside of here. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, this was like a Trump speakeasy.
Yeah.
It was like underground.
Yeah, you had to give the secret password, the high sign.
Yeah.
The He-Man Woman Haters Club right here. Here you go.
Right.
Yeah. I saw someone in the chat said it's like the Grand Ole Opry of Long Island.
Well, yeah, could be.
You know what? If Damon has his way, it just might turn into that.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Right?
We had another great night last night of musical recommendations. A lot of bluegrass, Americana bluegrass, are being sent to lfs6b at yahoo.com.
Yeah.
A lot of great country acts. And I'm still going to pursue Danny Goki. I don't care what you haters say.
What about Billy Strings?
Who's that again?
And by the way, I got a lot of people who said you guys are haters, and Danny Goki is great.
We
and
love
I
Danny
agree.
Goki.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We love Goki cheese.
Yeah, Billy Strings. Someone actually sent Billy Strings, as if I didn't know who he was. I don't know if we can get Billy Strings, but I would love to get Billy Strings, of course. there's probably nobody better on the guitar than Billy Strings, other than maybe Tommy Emmanuel, who I'd like to get him too, but
Right, of course.
we'll see.
I think you and I can do it. We can moonlight.
Or
doing
Vin
it.
could play the Commodores over on the piano as he was before.
I'll play Easy and then a little Mandy by Manilow, which is really bring the house down.
I'm listening to the piano over there. I'm saying, who's playing Easy like Sunday morning? There's Vin over there.
That's right. I got it. And my inner Lionel Richie, man. My hair just didn't throw up, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So, well, there's lots to do. And it's still all the news seems to be focused around these judges, although there was some other news today that caught my attention. The first thing that caught my attention was over at John Solomon's, which, of course, is the first place I go each and every day, which is over at Just the News. And I saw this headline. Howard Lutnick did, I think, the All In podcast. Has anybody seen it yet? I have not seen
yet.
it.
No.
Okay.
No.
I saw somebody say that Howard Lutnick on the All In podcast is one of the best interviews they've ever seen. Not just on the All In podcast, ever, that they've ever seen. That's how good it was. And I guess they covered a broad number of topics dealing with, obviously, the country, dealing with the economy, dealing with the debt, dealing with tariffs, dealing with a lot of things. And then I saw this headline in Just the News. Howard Lutnick says Trump has agreed to eliminate income taxes for Americans making less than $150,000. President Donald Trump previously teased eliminating the federal income tax in January, claiming that if his plan with tariffs works out, then he would eliminate the federal tax. Well, Just the News has today that Howard Lutnick today, on Friday, said that he has received confirmation from the president that the U.S. will eliminate income taxes on households making less than $150,000 a year if he successfully balances the budget. President Trump previously teased eliminating this, claiming that if the plans with tariff worked out, that he would eliminate all federal tax. Lutnick told the All In podcast that he was recently in the car with the president when the idea was floated again. He said, quote, I'm in the car with him, and I said, we're going to balance the budget. And I said, but I have one favor to ask you. If we can balance the budget for you, will you agree to waive all income tax for every person who makes less than $150K in the U.S., which, by the way, is about 85% of Americans? And the reason you want to work for Donald Trump is he looks at me and he goes, sure. That was it.
Okay.
He said, you realize the president of the United States said if you balance the budget, sure. He's not lying. He's not kidding. He said, sure. The secretary highlighted how the U.S. did not have a federal income tax until 1913. Trump has already implemented tariffs against China, is expected to impose other tariffs. Of course, he keeps building towards this April 2nd deal. And again, I mean, I'm not going to jump into whether I think balancing the budget is going to be that easy. Howard Lutnick says they're going to do it. And the president says, if we do it, I'll do this and follow through. Obviously, that's going to be the key to the whole thing. But Paul Nolan, I'll come to you first because you, maybe more than anybody, has talked to me about the money situation and what is money and who controls the money and the Federal Reserve. And when you hear of an idea like this, though, eliminating federal income tax on everybody who makes under 150 or less, what do you think?
I think libs are going to hate him for it. I just think they'll find a way to say this is going to help the rich guy. You know, but I do think it's just, you know, from 1913, the birth of the Fed, fractional reserve banking, fiat money essentially was the birth of it. You know, here we are now. If he can do an external revenue service and he can eliminate the crazy tax codes of the IRS and now legitimately give it back to the worker bees out there grinding every day, you know, like out there trying to fuel their truck, pay guys, buy material, do jobs, everything that keeps the economy working from the ground up, like all the little red ants making the wall, you know, I think the economy would explode in no time. I just think it would be the greatest thing that could happen. And I think, you know, you'd see commerce flourish, especially if manufacturing comes back to the States like these tariffs will probably force.
Vin?
Yeah, here's how I see it. And I would venture to guess that I'm seeing it the same way that Howard and Trump are. First off, you want to balance the budget, right? This is your goal. We want to balance the budget. Well, then what? most politicians that come in and say, I want to balance a budget. I want to, we can do this, we can do this. There's not a then what. It's like, okay, you balanced it. Now we don't have to collect taxes on all these people.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can eliminate property taxes over here. Maybe we can do all of these things. That's what I like about this. There's a then what. Yeah. It's not just we're going to balance the budget. Then we're going to go spend a lot more money on a bunch of stuff that you may or may not need.
We'll continue to deflate your currency.
Yeah.
Your life savings.
In Trump's case, he's basically saying that to all of us. Anyone making $150,000 or less, you know what? I'm going to do this, and you're going to benefit from it because we don't need to have your money. We're going to get it from all these other sources. That's how a good government and a good business would work.
Kev?
I'll tell you, I think if he does that, and while at the same time he's doing these things, he's doing what he said he would do, at the same time, there are climate change cloud huggers who are burning Teslas. They're attacking cars that liberals buy. We're going to either take over most of their voters. I think the Democratic Party could be extinct by the time Trump is done with them. I think this is the biggest move in history. After killing off the Department of Education, that actually saved us. But this is huge, and people are going to see, Trump's not that bad that bad a guy, and the Democrats are a bunch of stinko-pinkos who need to go away.
Well, killing the Department of Education is going to stop brainwashing all of these kids into believing the nonsense. So there really might not be a Democratic Party in 14, 15 years if he could put it into legislation. Because if Michelle Obama wins the next election, they're going to roll it right back. So they got to turn this into law. This has to be give it to the states, then give it to each county and community. This should be as isolated and as localized as possible. It should be as federalized. The Federalist Papers were there for a reason. So for me, get rid of the department, but give the power to the people and their children.
Rick Delgado, before I come to you on a reaction to the 150,000, let's get our Epstein update of the day.
I have it here.
Our Epstein drop of the day. What did we find out about the Epstein files? Dun, dun, dun. Here is Rick Delgado. Give it to us.
Here it is.
All right.
Breaking news.
0.
Here's what we have for the Epstein files.
All right. There's your Epstein file update for Friday, March 21st. Really quick. Actually, let's hit the break. Then I'll ask Delgado what he thinks of the gangsters. Live from Studio 6B, live at the America First Warehouse. We'll get in the chat. Lots to do. Everybody's got news. Slick's not with us tonight. He's in Margaritaville, but he'll be back next Friday.
Aaron and Fran.
All right, Fran, we're getting a lot of comments on the sound.
Howdy, Rumblers.
Don't like the sound in the new studio. Too much feedback.
There's not very much I can do without the proper stuff.
I mean, okay, I guess I don't know what the audience is hearing. It's not good.
You know what we would need, and I've seen places have it, that foam that goes over a stage sometimes? Oh. So I don't even know what that means.
All right, so
I got to get the mics.
I got to get tighter on the mic then.
What is that?
What is that?
Okay, thank you. Tight on the mics, boys.
All right, hopefully our YouTube audience is so good at this.
All right, well, folks, if you're watching, this is why we're doing it. So we're going to have to figure out what the issues are, and we'll get them fixed. So if the sound is, I'm saying the sound is distorted. Is it going out overmodulated?
So Lorraine Donato said sound good on Rumble. Distorted. Sounds good on iTunes, according to Lonnie.
Facebook's not, so maybe it's depending on where they're watching. Oh, Mad Bomb shouts to the Tinfoil Hat crew. Carolyn checking in.
Aaron, let me sound something going back over there. Did you hear me? an old Spies Like Us joke. Yeah.
Okay, I got
My
people
favorite
texting me
movies.
now saying the sound is fine. So I
Maybe it's
don't
Facebook.
I don't know what we're gonna
Could
have
be a
to
Facebook thing.
figure it
'Cause
out.
That's where I'm on.
Mark Zuckerberg is sabotaging our show.
And that's a quick break.
There is an echo, like a natural echo. here.
LSU Patriot with a super chat. Drag Blacker with a super chat.
Sounds like you're in a room with no furniture.
LSU Patriot.
Exactly.
LSU Patriot, $5 super chat.
It just
right.
Did you not hear that?
Did you get it?
Yeah, and Drag Blacker too.
Well,
two of them.
I mean, people on Facebook are not saying it sounds
I
fine
thought people were invited.
on socials.
And there's he's a good friend of mine. You know,
Ticked off.
Billy's here.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse. Real America's Voice on a Friday night, and of course across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in, everybody. Vinnie Max here, Paul Nolan, Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado, all going to have some news and some thoughts on the issues of the day. Of course, Slick's off tonight. He'll be back, obviously, next week, and he'll be here next Friday. We were talking in segment one about President Trump and Howard Lutnick, and people saying Howard Lutnick's interview on the All In podcast is one of the greatest interviews they've ever seen. I have not watched it yet, and I'll have to watch it. But one of the subjects they covered was income tax for people who make $150K or less in this country, which is about 85% of the people who live here, and that the president confirmed with Howard Lutnick that if we can balance the budget, then we'll eliminate income taxes for everybody making $150K and under, which is really... I mean, we've been complaining about the tax code and the IRS and people, of course, who have lobbied for a flat tax all these years and other things. And I said when the president brought up the External Revenue Service, I said, man, it sounds like a great idea as long as it replaces the internal one, because we don't need any more government bureaucracy just adding to it. I mean, I'm sure it can do good work, but if he's able to do something like this, then I think that's your payoff. That's as good as almost a full elimination. It's for 85% of the people, it is almost like, you know. Mm-hmm. So, Delgado, what's your thoughts on that?
When you're talking about taxes, don't like them. Never been a fan.
Yeah.
I think most people will jump on board that train because it's one of those things where you feel like I think most people at this point, they're working, 45% of their year, and they don't get to take that home. The rest, they only get 55 to 60% of their money that they actually take home. So if he can do that, and I equate everything to like a movie reference. Remember the movie Dave?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
His accountant came in.
Kevin Kline is the president, and he brings in his buddy Murray, the accountant, because he was challenged. He said, if you can find whatever, I think 16 or 60 billion or $1 million, you can keep this program. When Murray sits down, he's just a regular accountant. He's like, he couldn't believe what the federal government did. He's like, well, you get rid of this. All of a sudden, they find the savings. He keeps the plan. And that's exactly what I feel like we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Is look at all this crap that we pay for, that we're taking tax money for, that shouldn't be taken and used on. If we just eliminate all this, guess what? All this money is now money we don't need. Yeah. It goes back to the people we took it from, because a tax is taking. It's not. Anytime anybody says, "Oh, well, the government has revenue," they don't have revenue. They don't make anything. They take. It's a tax. So, if you can convert that and make it at least I think that opens a door to maybe down the road even increasing that from there.
Yeah.
Because once that floodgate's opened, right, and you got the External Revenue Service, I see a story here. UAE commits $1.4 trillion in U.S. investment. That's from today.
Yeah.
I mean, you get all these countries now coming back to the table going, oh, you guys are open for business. All right, we're in.
Yeah, less regulation.
Right. All of a sudden, we're flooded with money and cash, and we would get to live like the people in UAE who are oil rich, who I think everybody in the UAE is a millionaire.
Yeah, they get
right? Because they get a stipend from all the oil they sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd sign up for that.
Watch the liberal blue-haired testicle haters go nuts, though. We want to pay taxes. You're a tyrant.
Yeah, you're not an American.
Nazi.
Yeah.
If you don't pay taxes, you're not an American.
Yeah.
You're not
The crazy
patriotic.
Part,
the
crazy part is we're already seeing that. They're already trying to protect. Oh, you can't do that. You can't take away this tax money. How will we function without the tax money?
That's so funny.
They're trying to convince people that, hey, your life is going to be over. Grandma's going to get pushed off that cliff again. You're going to get pushed off the cliff with Grandma unless we take your money from you because we know how to spend it.
Yeah. By the way,
you're forgetting to mention the 14 magic money machines.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great story. We can talk about that later.
We talked about that. Elon said there's 14 magic money machines that just magically send out money for no reason.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
he told
my
Ted
household.
Cruz. Yeah, he told Ted Cruz. Yeah, it's like
It's every time I
like
see
my
an
daughter's
Amazon
dance,
package in my
dance
house.
school.
Daddy, can you pick this thing up for me? I'm like, okay. Does that mean I have to pay for it? Yep. Right out of the magic money machine.
Magic money machine.
Who's going to pay for the drag shows in Madagascar if we don't collect taxes?
There's a thought.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, speaking of repealing things, are the Republicans going to get serious about repealing the Inflation Reduction Act anytime soon? I mean, if we're wondering. I mean, it just seems like the president continues to kind of lead the charge here and do everything by executive order. Are the Republicans, like, I don't know, going to get on the ball here and maybe start doing some things as well to help them? Like, how about why are we not repealing this Inflation Reduction Act? The more you hear about what it has done so far since its implementation, I heard Chip Roy talking about it today, saying, by the way, if we don't get serious about repealing this thing, because they sold it as obviously, what it's named. Of course, all these things, whatever they're named, they do the opposite.
Right.
He said the electricity in Texas, we're going to be toast on these subsidies if we don't repeal this thing, because 98% of new generation of energy in Texas is subsidized unreliable energy, old gas, coal, aging, retiring, zero, minimum nuclear. We're living in the Green New Deal made in China, and the GOP needs to wake up here. So if we're going to repeal stuff, well, why don't we put that at the top of the list as well?
That should be there. I mean, why allow the last administration's bad policies just to continue for a day?
I'll tell you why. Establishment rhinos are in on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some news here. It's 23 past the hour. Mm-hmm. Rick Delgado's got the news. News brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available live from Studio6B.com, right there on the homepage. 15% off right now. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, I'm going to save this JFK assassination story for a little later. I'm going to need a little more time.
Oh, Kev, we haven't seen you since the JFK, Kevin Downey Jr., since the JFK files were released. Kev, have you locked in here on who's killed Kennedy?
Oh, I've known for years. Yeah. It was the CIA, and they had LBJ divert that car around where the commie who was trying to move to the USSR just happened to have a Italian World War II Carcano. It wasn't a Mannlicher, although I'm sure the left would love that he used a gun called a Mannlicher. He did not. It was a Carcano. Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy named Underhill, John Underhill.
Yeah.
Who, did we just talk about that yet?
Well, we talked a little bit about him.
Oh, that's amazing.
We put that on the Underhills tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he shows up at his friend's house the day after the assassination, says, oh, my God, these few guys from the CIA killed Kennedy, and I'm in trouble. I might leave the country. And then 6 months later, he shot himself behind his left ear, even though he's right-handed. Yeah. Although I've heard that the CIA has a gun suicide mechanism where they put your hand in it and they turn it, and you can't help but shoot yourself.
Right. They featured that in the movie Shooter with Marky Mark. Remember? He had to save the kid, and they're cranking it up, and they're going to make him shoot him. So,
what do you think of George Bush? George Bush says he wasn't there. George Bush lied all these years, and he became head of the CIA. And people are saying he might have actually pulled a trigger. Like, he was there. Why would he lie about it to this extent?
Well, supposedly his father was also involved in it with Prescott Bush. No, but Prescott Bush Sr.'s father was the head of the CIA. If you remember, Robert was Dulles. Alan Dulles was the head of the State Department, and his brother was the head of the the CIA, at that time. So the two of them ran both heads of the monster.
Wow.
And if you remember, Alan Dulles was quoted as saying, "I'm glad that little SH called turd is dead. He thought he was a god," and that's what he said about JFK. Which there's a lot of reason to believe that there was Operation Northwoods was thrown in their face. There was a lot of reason to believe the CIA got rid of him.
And amazing that Dulles ends up on the Warren Commission.
Yep, that's not
what
an
a
accident.
surprise.
It sounds like what goes on today.
It's all the same people, isn't it?
And LBJ had everything to lose or gain because Kennedy was throwing him off the ticket, and he was in that Bobby Brown scandal.
Maybe.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night at the America First Warehouse. We're back right after this.
Speaking of which, I saw a guy today. He had to be about 76, 77 years old. Older guy. Just, he just looked old. But with the deepest black mustache I've ever seen.
Yeah, natural.
It looked like it was. I'm like, how does he do that?
It's just for men. By the way, did you guys hear Ben Shapiro's take on the JFK thing?
No, I want to hear it.
He is such a turd.
What did he say?
He said, "Who cares?" I mean, it's interesting because it was part of our history, but it's like caring about who killed, who killed Abe Lincoln.
It's not about JFK. It's about
the birth
corruption
of the deep state.
Yeah, and that has not changed.
No, and it really was emboldened by the CIA and its unlimited, ungoverned power. Yeah, just watch a dog get kicked in while we talk about it.
No, but you remember when Schumer said that about Trump? If you're going to rattle the deep state there.
7 ways
CIA,
from Sunday.
Yeah,
Get back.
They can screw you 7 ways till Sunday, right?
I mean, that alone tells you everything that you need to know. Like, they should not have that kind of power authority.
When Trump wouldn't take his daily briefings from the CIA, they were enraged by him. He basically said, I don't need any of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I got to do.
And LBJ had everything to lose or gain.
100%.
Either his career's over or he's president.
Like I said, I mentioned the last time we talked about this. There's a book called Best Evidence. The guy took 15 years, Lifton took 15 years to write, and he had all the documents. He had all the receipts. And there's over 50 people who suicided, suddenly died.
Yeah. Sounds like a Clinton campaign.
It was, anybody who witnesses, they were dropping like flies.
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries said Trump did it, and like JFK. So who knows? It's possible, right? Anything's possible. I want to see this exposed because I want to see them now dig into what's going on now. And not just now, since Kennedy was killed.
And Vin, everyone from my parents' era knows where they were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the guy from the CIA doesn't.
And he doesn't.
He was in Dallas. There's one of the things claims.
That's shocking, right?
He was in a hotel.
Right. Yeah, I
heard he had Reagan shot.
Yeah, well, Reagan changed
that.
Yeah.
Reagan changed his entire attitude after he got lead poisoning.
Mm-hmm. No, look at Trump. There was, I think, just a dramatic change.
And keep in mind, they wanted to lob, George Bush right in there right after.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live from the America First Warehouse in Ronkonkoma, New York. Everybody's here except Slick's off tonight. He'll be back. Delgado's here. Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, Vinnie Mac is here. They all got news and some thoughts on what's going on. We were doing the news, then we got into the JFK file. So let's get back to the news. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on?
All right. Well, first off, I got to shout out Trump Country USA on the Rumble chat. They are now a monthly supporter. There's a little special designation on there. Did not realize you could do that, but you can do that on the chat on Rumble, so check that out. Since we are talking about JFK and we got some time, let's jump into it. One of the big things that came out of the tranche of the documents, the batch of documents released from the JFK assassination, showed the major distrust of what we were just talking about of the USA. Newly released documents on the assassination of Kennedy includes a memo that for decades helped fuel speculation that the CIA was somehow involved in the killing of the president, known as the Schlesinger Memo. The 15-page document dated June 10, 1961, was written by JFK's aide, Arthur Schlesinger Jr. It warned Kennedy that the CIA was encroaching on his ability to direct foreign policy. The memo's existence was not secret, and it was made public earlier, but with large chunks of text blacked out, of course, for security reasons.
Yeah.
The entire unredacted memo was one of the thousands of now declassified documents that the National Archives and Records Administration released on Tuesday on orders from President Trump. And if anybody was expecting to find proof in the memo that the CIA conspired, they will not find it according to this. But the information on there from Schlesinger is eye-opening, because I guess some of the stuff that was blacked out basically, spoke about how Schlesinger suggested that the CIA is working overtime to basically take away the power of the president, and basically they were running their own. It was almost like their own State Department outside of the State Department.
That's what it really was.
And they were using the State Department as a cover for what they were doing, which was pretty much anything they wanted to. When it
Rick,
comes
can you
to,
imagine the amount of stuff that was deleted or thrown away between then and now? Like the stuff that's not in there? Like, we expect everything to be in the files?
Yeah.
But there must have been massive things thrown out or taken away that would have proven most of this.
Yeah, it's amazing, because some of the stuff that was blacked out now comes to light. It was a major factor in when Kennedy said he's going to smash the CIA into a million pieces, throw it into the wind. That and of course it was something that I guess a lot of people were afraid of if this thing came to light. And now, thanks to President Trump, the entire memo is out there.
What's astounding to me, there's still stupid people who call it a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Like, you're a special kind of stupid if you're calling this a conspiracy theory.
Well, the crazy part is it was created by the CIA. I think also within the documents that were released, they talk about the conspiracy theory and how to use that.
They coined that phrase.
Right, they coined the phrase.
Well, how to market that, which is what they wanted.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just amazing. So that's one of the big things. If you can track down the entire 15 pages and start to go through that, you'll see some eye-opening stuff. So, again, that's coming from the now released documents of the JFK assassination files. You want to talk about judges? Of course, we love judges, don't we? Especially the judicial coup that is going on. Everybody's favorite judge, Judge Boasberg, man, he is not a happy man, Damon.
No.
Let me tell you. The federal judge, of course, earlier today grilled Trump administration lawyers over the deportation of Venezuelan nationals to El Salvador, despite his earlier court order explicitly blocking the move. During the motion hearing today, Boasberg questioned Deputy Assistant General Drew Eisen on why the Trump administration failed to comply with his emergency court order that temporarily blocked the use of the Aliens Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan nationals, including members of the everybody's favorite gang, Tren de Aragua, on U.S. soil for 14 days. At least 261 migrants were deported on Saturday from the U.S. to El Salvador. Boasberg used the first portion of Friday's hearing to press Eisen for details. Why was the proclamation signed in the dark, he said, on Friday, early Saturday morning? Then these people were rushed onto planes. To me, the only reason he said to do that is if there's a problem and you want to get him out of the country before a suit is filed. Of course, the judge overstepping his bounds, asking questions that, according to Pam Bondi yesterday, said he's not entitled to ask because he's just a district court.
We love that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damon, you said it perfectly on Monday. The way you put it, we have 688 presidents now.
Yeah, basically, right? I mean, even the Supreme Court, I said yesterday, you think about the Supreme Court to get a ruling, you need a 5-4, you need at least 5. Well, if you're a district court judge now, you just need yourself to decide you don't like what's going on. It's absolutely insanity that one person designated for a specific geographical location is ruling for 330 million people. And today he comes out like he's all PO'd. I saw the headline in the Washington Times. Judge Boasberg calls Trump lawyers intemperate and disrespectful as fight for deportees heats up, saying he vows to hold Trump administration accountable. Well, here's the thing, Judge. You have no means to hold them accountable, quote unquote. Just to let you know. You have no means to hold them accountable because you're not going to, you have no force to use against them and you have no will to issue any orders. So I'd say pipe down if you want to know the truth with this. I mean, this guy's almost like he's just more worried about how he's going to be viewed at the cocktail parties he goes to in D.C., this guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just crazy.
They're just another group, and this guy in particular is another one of those insulated, left-wing, progressive radicals. And I don't know if you heard this today, but his wife is part of a NGO that's funded by USAID. Okay. And his daughter is part of, it's called Partners for Justice, an organization that provides legal support to criminal, illegal aliens, and gang members. They get 76% of their money from the U.S. government in funds. So you hear this, right?
I believe that's a conflict of interest.
I believe. And where else have we heard that? Who's that? Judge Marchant or whatever, the guy with the Trump thing. It seems every one of these judges
Without a doubt.
have baggage with this. And I wish I were doing a stand-up comedy act now on these judges because it's like you can't believe it. You think we're making this stuff up?
Oh, yeah. Trump could order pizza. Judge Chutkin's going to go, no, send it back. You're getting Chinese tonight. That's the way it is. I'm paid by the communists. You're getting lo mein.
But they all have their hands in stuff, and it's so corrupt. It's just, the CIA, the deep state, all of these things. And now judges, the one thing you have to trust in this country, like you have to trust a judge. What if you're before a judge?
Yeah.
Right? You got to trust even-handed judgment, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen any of it.
But then you find out their daughters or their family members are,
That's the same
on the
thing.
take as well.
Like Comey's daughter.
Right,
Like Comey's daughter.
Yeah, glad she's in charge.
Yeah, this is a club. And like Carlin said, we're not in it.
Yeah.
George Carlin had it
John
right.
Gotti's kid was the judge in his trial.
This guy's behavior almost makes it look like he's in cahoots with the Democratic Party. It's like he's going to try to build the case for publicly holding the Trump administration in contempt is what he's trying to do.
That's right.
That's exactly what he's trying to make it look like.
He's
like
trying
he would
to-
be holding them in contempt so he can get a lot of media headlines. He can play right into the Democratic narrative. And he looks like he's in cahoots with them, quite frankly. He's like, don't worry, guys. I'll take the lead here.
Right.
That's what it looks
almost
like.
He's trying to out Marchand, right? Because Judge Marchand was doing the same thing in New York, where he was coming up with different rulings, and he was stopping. This guy's not allowed to testify, and just trying to do anything he could to put his big fat foot on the scales of justice. It says here, though the judge acknowledged that the Trump administration has wide latitude to enforce immigration law, he repeatedly expressed
thanks so much.
his own frustration with the government and his failure to answer major questions about the flights.
Well, how about
questions he's not entitled to even ask
100%.
if you talk to Pam Bondi.
How about the fact that I don't hear any other judges, or really anybody of substance outside, say, the administration, and maybe Fox News, challenging this judge? Other judges should be. It's their profession. This is what they do. This is what either they've been appointed to or elected to. You would think they'd come out and say, this is just not right. Like, this is not what we're all about. But I haven't heard a peep from any of them, conservative judges or not.
Right.
Talking heads, yeah, I've heard a few things there, but not legitimate practicing judges.
Yeah. Or what about, usually we hear from Alan Dershowitz right around now.
Dershowitz has spoken out about it.
Has he?
Oh,
Has he talked about the judges? Because I haven't seen anything about him.
I heard him on with Levin. He's been on plenty of places talking about it.
Okay.
But what's amazing is, and we've said this all week, they want to fight this fight, the public relations fight with the American people. I mean, the judge argues today that one of the things that he felt like was quote-unquote sketchy was the speed that the administration was trying to get the gang members out of the country.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to, that's the argument you want to have? Hey, those killers, rapists, and child traffickers, you're getting them out of here awfully quick. Seems a little sketchy to me. That's the argument they want to have.
I had him scheduled for a bus trip to Mount Rushmore, and you'll reckon that.
He said, the judge, quote, "It seems to be the only reason to do that is if you know it's a problem and you want to get them out of the country," the judge said.
Yeah, before a suit is filed.
Oh, he's very smart. Very, very smart. Biden's
campaign on that.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
And it's too bad because they thought they were going to Epcot first.
Biden's flying them in.
Yeah.
No one says boo.
Nothing.
Trump's flying them out.
Yeah.
And they're criminals, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
It's absurd. D, I wrote an article today at PJ Media, cheap plug, about how things are getting uglier. And
We love PJ Media.
I love it. Yes, I love working there. Here's what I think. I think we're going to see some really ugly things that no one even considered to be happening in our country. I think it's going to get really ugly, really bad, and people are going to be a little thrown. There's a movie from, I think, 1987 called The Hidden, where the good guy is choking out the bad guy at the end, and the demon or whatever that's in him slides out, and he sees just how ugly it is. I think we're going to see that with some of the stuff that we never thought would happen in the United States.
Did you have examples in your article of what did you actually write about today?
Oh, it's a lot of the stuff we're talking about, how judges are fighting to keep rapists and criminals here. Why would they do that? Why are these non-binary hippies burning the most climate-friendly car? They're attacking other liberals. Why is this happening? Because it's not about the climate. It's not about politics. It's not about politics anymore. It hasn't been for a while. This is about good versus evil. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Good versus evil. That's why they're trying to keep the animals here. That's why they're trying to. I've got something on the World Economic Forum who wants us to close up our gardens. That's just about controlling food. People are going to realize just how ugly things are, because I think it's way worse than anyone has even thought of. And you know what? It reminds me. So my mom calls me, third time she had cancer. She's in tears. I have cancer. And I said, this is the best day of your life. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I said, yesterday you had cancer. You didn't know it. Today, you know. Now you can fight it. You can win. And she won that round, and she lost. She died years later. But so you got to know when you've got that cancer. And this nation has a cancer that we need to cut out.
Well said.
That's a great example.
Hey, Kev, one of the musical acts we were thinking about Friday nights live here at the America First Warehouse, someone brought up to me is maybe Bon Iver.
Bon Iver,
when
yes.
I write him an email, should I ask him if he can come and sing in the key of non-binary?
Yes, let's do it.
Sing in the key of non-binary.
I thought you were going to say Burl Ives.
Let's get him in, and we can have the Duggar Band beat the crap out of him.
All right, we're back live at the America's First Warehouse.
Garden's going to kill the environment.
Yeah. So 2,100 atomic and hydrogen bombs tested, but it's my tomatoes that's going to bring this planet crashing
Let's keep
down.
this all in perspective. It's your garden, not that 20-ton bomb that's going to take out the city. In Europe, that's how they live. They go in the backyard, they pull down tomatoes, they pull down fruit, vegetables. They have something to have their own livestock.
Honestly, like 11 states now that says you can't collect your own rainwater off your house. It's like crazy.
How can they control us, Paul, if they can't control the water we want to drink?
It's insanity.
I did not know that.
Oh, it's hot in here, man.
Ted Nugent. Think we get Ted Nugent in here?
Yeah.
A little cat scratch fever?
We definitely could get
Is
Ted.
Joe here?
We could get Ted.
Ted, that would be awesome.
Ted's on the network.
Yeah. All right, there you go. We got to get Ted. Opening night, Ted.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
So you guys have any complaints on the sound at all? Remember when we did have Ted one other time, I got to ask him a couple questions before we went on, and I told him I had seen him in 82. He's like, oh, yeah, 82, Coliseum. I was with Aerosmith, and Joe Cocker opened up for us. And I'm like, how would you – wait, what?
I see pictures of me on stage. I go, I have no idea where that gig was. I checked into a hotel. I said, we got your card already, sir. I go, I've never been here.
Who are you?
I'm looking forward to seeing the that All In podcast. The Mike Benz on Rogan was still one of the most eye-opening things I've ever seen.
Which one?
Mike Benz on Rogan.
Yeah.
It was like 3 hours and 15 minutes of just like one truth bomb after another. It was incredible.
Hey, Billy, have you ever seen Ted Nugent, or you've had him at your place?
Not yet.
Yeah. I'm from Detroit, so he's like been a god to me forever. But then when he came out with a book called Kill It and Grill It, I was like, God, this guy's hilarious.
I've seen him a bunch of times. He was great live.
Oh, yeah. He's great. And you know what? He has that sarcastic thing going on that's how we win. You mock the Marxists.
Yeah.
You clown slap the commies and you punish the pedos. That's the game over.
His brother was president of Revlon. He was a client. And he told me his name, whatever, Nugent. I was like, are you related to Ted? He's like, oh, it's my brother. Straight-laced as they come.
Well, what's his name? Ted said he never had a drink or a smoke or a drug in his life.
He's a straight-laced guy.
Never once.
Didn't look that way early in his career, but he's a straight-laced guy, man. I have a lot of respect for that. I saw him with Leonard.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B, live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across all of our socials. Welcome on in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Of course, we always appreciate you giving us a few hours. 8 to 10 weekdays right here. Slick's off tonight. Delgado's here. Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, Vinnie Mac, all here. We'll get some thoughts from everybody on the news of the day. What's caught their attention? Vinnie Mac, I'll come to you.
Yes, sir.
What's on your radar today?
Well, I saw something that just popped out before we got on air, and that is, I don't know if hell is freezing over, but Bill Maher looks like he's got an interview with Donald Trump.
Yeah, well,
talking.
And it's funny, Kid Rock facilitated that.
Yeah, Kid Rock
I watched
played a role.
I endured the Kid Rock Bill Maher interview. It
Fantastic.
It was, but Kid Rock went so easy on him, but Bill Maher, sometimes you just want to smash his face. I'm sorry.
It's a great thing, though. The best thing that Trump can do, for really communicating with the left,
without a doubt,
is to humanize himself, go on these shows, and he's such a great guy.
Yeah,
he truly is a great guy, so it's kind of easy to warm up to him in a room. You see the camaraderie he has with so many people, even if they hate him. Even Chuck Schumer. He looks like he likes him personally.
You know what? Chuck Schumer looks to me like he's worming his way into his good graces because he knows he's going to be out of a job soon.
Uncle Chuck.
Sorry, he tried to kill you.
He's raising his glasses. But I have been I have been looking at this information on this Green New Deal slush fund. You've been following where all that money's going, and it every day it's a new thing where the Green New Deal has funded some new pop-up NGO or a new pop-up green thing to pay for all the cronies. And I was talking about it today with someone, and I was like, I'm not shocked at all because I think we all suspected this. We all saw this. I think we all kind of knew it too, underneath everything. But to have it thrown in our faces right now during this cleansing, and that's what's happening here. To the point you were making earlier on, that what Trump's doing is a cleansing. This is a full colonic right now.
This nation's going to vomit some demons, man. I can't wait.
This town needs an animal.
And the irony of all of these things they're finding through the Green New Deal slush fund is the connection to everybody's wife, daughter, mother, relatives. I got relatives in Italy I want to put on a payroll too if I could, but that's not happening.
I mean, I did it a couple weeks ago. Sheldon Whitehouse's wife has some green nonsense aquatic deal, and she got I think $14 billion. Outrageous numbers, just crazy money. And meanwhile, he's on the committee with the lobbyist group that was owned by John Podesta and his brother and their wives. And they're one of the most powerful lobby groups that push the legislation, and then they get the money. It's such a nepotistic circle of scam. It's stunning what they get away with.
Yeah, Lee Zeldin. Thank God for Lee Zeldin. I think we're all big Lee Zeldin fans, and he's got a great job at the EPA. The EPA is behind a lot of this stuff because they're all this Green New Deal propaganda that they've been pushing out before Lee got involved, and all that money going out. So it's about time someone is looking at it. But it's something that everyone in this country needs to pay attention to. We talk about the judges and this particular judge, his daughter on this one group and his wife on another group. This is everywhere. This is why they're all freaking out. If the left, and I get into these battles every day on Facebook, I actually took screenshots of them because I couldn't believe some of the nonsense. I shared a post that said I support Tesla. That was it. I got filleted all over the place by these freak liberal progressives. Like, what's wrong with you? How can you possibly do that? You know what happened on January 6th? I'm like, I'm talking about a company that employs 80,000 hardworking people, most of which are liberals, and you want to take them down? All that kind of stuff. So I can't believe the stuff that I'm saying. That's indefensible.
Yep. You know what? The NGOs I love the best are the fake ones. This one's called Save the Tree Frog. How are you going to do that? Kill the Jews. All right. That's perfect. Here's $15 million.
What's the name of your NGO? Kill the Jews? I got it. We're going. Send it to Colombia.
Well, we talked about this, I guess it was last week, right? We went through some of the names of the places they got all this money at the end of the year. Stacey Abrams got $2 billion for some company she started 4 days before she got the $2 billion. It had like $100 in the bank account. There was a bunch of other ones that had not even been started from 2023. Who ended up with 15 million, 150 billion. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous.
Yeah, she didn't spend any of that money on salad plates. That's for sure.
No.
She's a salad dodger.
No, there was no salad bars in any of that.
I'll have 3 Big Macs and a Diet Coke. Thank you.
You know what's amazing? When you're speaking about this fraud and everything, but there's money that these government agencies took, and according to this article from the Daily Wire, I was reading this yesterday. I was dumbfounded. It was called Inside the Now Shuttered Federal Agency Where Employees Live Like Reigning Kings, it's titled, from the Daily Wire. It's called the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service. It occupied a 9-story office tower for 60 employees.
Sounds what?
9 stories.
Repeat that? 9 stories?
9-story office tower on DC's K Street. The slummy part of town.
They had
60 employees.
9 stories. Was it like 20 feet wide by 20 feet deep? Like, is this a stick standing in the air? What do you mean
it's
9
amazing.
stories?
Its managers had luxury suites with full bathrooms. One manager would often be in the shower when she was needed instead of actually working. Let's see. One director was on a years-long business trip to D.C. where they worked, so they could get reimbursed from where they originally used to live.
I kind of like that strategy. So how do you deploy that?
Let's see. They basically served as a voluntary mediator between unions and businesses, acted as an independent agency. You want to talk about some of the stuff they have here? $200 for coasters for their office, purchasing artwork. This is from a top FMCS official. He used his money to order champagne. He bought artwork painted by his wife. He bought artwork for the building painted by his wife.
Was his wife named Hunter? Just checking.
They even spent more than $2,000 just retouching one portrait. Let's see. They paid for his BMW. They billed the government for the wife's cell phone, cable TV at both the home and the vacation home. Don't want to forget about the vacation home. Employee Dan Funkhauser used his card, his FMCS card, because they all had the credit cards, and they removed the blocks on the credit card so they could spend on whatever they wanted.
Sure, why not?
$18,000 at a jewelry store near his house. And, of course, when they were told that they were going to be audited, destroyed all purchase cards and records upon leaving the agency. Let's see. This one guy retired from FMCS. He incorporated an LLC just before he did and paid himself $85,000 using the credit card. So it's just an amazing litany of all of this waste and fraud. Well, this is fraud and abuse. Expenses for these high-level lifestyles. They pay trainers $1,500 a day to come in and do training for them.
It's in every agency, though.
It's in every agency, but this one was so egregious.
Yeah.
I think even one of the people that worked there was like, I don't even know how we could get away with this stuff.
Well, they can when your party's in power. and they're hiding it, and their wives and girlfriends and everybody else is employed by these things. Of course, they're going to protect it. And you got all the judges and their families.
Yeah.
This is just one giant mafia. They think the mafia is bad. The mafia's not bad. They want to have cannolis and they want to take out their friends. These guys, this are worse than the mafia.
Yeah, these are the bureaucrats. These are the ones that are fighting the hardest to make sure that this money doesn't get turned off. Let's see. One CFO, Fran Leonard. Let's see. It looks like they had an office in Honolulu. Of course, because you need an office in Honolulu. Travel to Italy and Switzerland, where they conducted a business meeting over video chat. So they're basically on vacation. They do one little business meeting, and it's all paid for by your tax dollars.
Yeah. And you know what? These swamp wigglers live to defend each other because they're all in on the take. And if you're not in on it, then they got pictures of you as someone else's wife or something.
100%. Currency in D.C. is black.
Just amazing.
All right, hour one in the books from the America First Warehouse. We're back. News with Paul Nolan and Kevin Downey Jr. as we get into hour two on a Friday night right after this.
Walmart shoppers. Can you turn the lights up a little first, please? I have an SPF 20 on, and it's really not working well. I feel like I need a little more.
Chat. I don't have my chat tonight, so I apologize for not being in the chat.
Yeah.
But I just checked it on Twitter, some of the messages. Gertrude Gable says, dim the lights for F's sake. You guys look like you're in a Walmart. And I have no idea what that person's talking about.
A price check on aisle 5.
You want to do this to show in the dark?
And we're all on the self-checkout line. Can't figure it out.
I got a message from Carolyn of the Tinfoil Hat Group. She goes, I don't mean to complain, sorry, but you look washed out.
Even with all that makeup?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Can't believe it.
Man, the chat is flying. Holy moly.
Chat's good. My man, Gerald Wayne Hawkins.
I feel lost without my chat here tonight.
Gerald Wayne Hawkins, been with us since 2015.
Yes.
ANKH.
He's a great guy.
in the YouTube chat. Hey, Damon's wearing his thongs.
It's what?
You're wearing your thongs.
Should we get like fake tan to put on our faces? I mean, I sometimes do that anyway.
What's
I'm a
with
metrosexual.
why is everybody saying dim the lights? Does everything look hot, Aaron?
We're washed out.
Well, they can see us clearly. Yeah, they see us clearly, and that's obviously a problem.
I have no idea what they're talking
We're usually
about.
washed out, so we're good.
I do have the pallor of a cadaver, so that could be part of the problem. Maybe I'll walk around in the sun tomorrow.
Dan will be getting a pedicure in about
All right,
20
LSU
minutes
Patriot in the YouTube chat, super chat here, $5. Damon's wearing his finest terry cloth, leggings, and flip-flops tonight.
Thank you. And my hairpiece looks good.
It does. Looking very good.
Thank you.
I still got my little Florida tan.
That's a good
I'm
one.
Surviving.
LFS6B imitates outnumbered? I don't know about that.
John on Facebook says, one of you guys has to pretend to be a Dem. You know what? You want me to wear a blue wig once in a while and just be an Antifa?
Someone's got to pretend.
What did you call them before? Testicle haters?
Testicle haters. Yeah, they hate testicles.
They are cumbersome.
I hate when they.
My pant leg.
I hate when
I don't know what was going on here.
I hate when I'm sitting down.
Greta, thanks for looking out for me.
Yeah. The water's too cold.
Thank you, Greta.
They're saying the backdrop might be too
Hot.
lit. Too hot, yeah. Oh, lighting is great in Tennessee.
right, hour 2, live from Studio 6B, America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice. And across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's going to do some as well. Paul Nolan as well. Vinnie Mac is here. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Up in the new America First Warehouse control room, which I absolutely love. Let me see that shot, Aaron, again of you guys up there. I mean, that is... that looks like a first-class operation up there.
Is that a blender?
Fran and Aaron have done... Shut up, Ben.
I think there's a blender in there. Holy Margaritaville. What the hell's going on? No wonder why we're all hot.
No wonder why Slick's not here, yeah.
It's the only way to get through this show is with booze.
That's a good point. Aaron and Fran have done, Justin Martin here at the America's First Warehouse, have done a fantastic job. And this is why we're here. For those of you seemingly not being able to hold back from complaining about something... This is why we're doing this tonight, to figure out what we have to fix before you guys all show up here.
Yeah.
So that you can complain in person.
Don't bring tomatoes and don't make us put a wire cage fence in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. So like a WWE, like Hell in a Cell thing deal.
Yeah. No Botox.
Like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, no, Vin's going to have all his Botox and his hairpiece ready, though, for you for the first launch night.
I'll get all smoothed out, get everything going. That's right.
Yeah, he'll get down looking to like 56.
I'll be moosing my chest hairs, all those kinds of things. It'll be happening.
Well, at least he doesn't put shoe polish in his hair. That's very positive.
Who does that?
I've taken years to get him to not do that.
I never did that. I don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, give me
never
a break.
Did that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Rejected.
So
I'm just glad Slick's not here.
Well, Slick's off tonight because he's at, I don't know.
He's doing margaritas.
Getting drunk at Margaritaville, I guess. That's what I'd be doing
There's
if
a
I
good
was
chance
there.
he's doing the splits right now in the middle of the dance floor.
I mean, in probably the most, the brightest, just sequenced out suit he could probably find with his birds on his shoulders.
Last night.
He's got the birds with him.
Last night, Rick's telling him about his
he's
shirt.
like a human cockatoo.
If he were on this stage, he'd look like Aurora Borealis.
Rick's got his, Slick Rick's got his suits, all that beautiful stuff, and Delgado's telling him about a shirt he bought at TJ Maxx for $14. And Slick Rick's like,
it's a great shirt.
What is this? I'm going to sit with this guy. I just spent like $4,000 on my Prince lookalike outfit over here.
Yeah. Oh, God. So anyways, well, we're happy to be here. It's been great. And I want to thank the audience for checking in on all our socials, wherever you are. Mike German says, F-47. Did you guys hear Trump talk about the F-47 today?
Love it.
No.
Love it.
Oh, man, does this thing sound badass. Right, Vin? You hear it?
I heard about it, and the reviews of it by a lot of Air Force personnel and others are saying this is the real deal, that no one has anything like this.
It's going to change the game in warfare.
This is what we needed, though. We need a few of these announcements, Hopefully we see this with our naval ships. We see it with the Air Force. We see it with maybe drone technology. And hey, Mr. Musk, this is why you're around, man. You got some genius ideas, I'm sure. Talk to our military about them, because he could probably do some things that no one's ever thought of that are just incredible. But that is an amazing thing. And the name, gotta love it. The F-47.
It reminds me of what do you call it? One of the final dogfighting scene with Tom Cruise in Maverick, Top Gun 2. Remember they're fighting the 5-gen jet. And this thing just does this turn in the air, and they're like, what the?
Yeah.
What's amazing is that the fact that they're able to show that now in a movie means we're way past that.
Yeah.
It's like when they wheeled out the stealth fighter and the stealth bomber the first time, and like just before the first Gulf War, everybody's like, oh, my God. That's only because they're way past that now, and now we can declassify this.
Yeah.
So I can imagine what the
trying
47.
to chase down this thing that goes like 2,000 miles an hour, or whatever they said,
and turn on a dime probably.
Like, excuse me?
I was going to say go in 2000 and make a left.
Yeah,
you lose your lunch.
And again, we're using 60-year-old technology to get to space. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and dolphins.
So before we get back to the news with the guys, there is one thing I saw today that I think we have to talk about, and it's very concerning, given what happened in 2016, 17, and 18. And you would think, if there's any truth to this, given the people that are in these positions, it would get stopped. But I saw this headline today over at the Federalist, written by Eddie Scary, and it's actually a scary headline, so it's appropriate. Trump's intel agencies are trying to sabotage him again. Will Ratcliffe and Kash Patel be able to stop it? And I saw this, and I went, huh? And he says a New York Times report on Thursday is either fake or people at the FBI or CIA ran to the paper to undermine their boss. Though there's no real reason both can't be true. Under the headline, quote, intelligence assessment said to contradict Trump on Venezuelan gang, the New York Times cited unnamed officials claiming that the violent Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang, members of which the White House says are illegally in the U.S., is not in cahoots with the origin nation's government. It's an assertion in direct contradiction to the administration, which has justified the expedited removal of many illegal aliens by claiming that the Venezuelan government works with the gang to destabilize America. The report went on to say intelligence agencies, quote, concluded that the gang was not directed by Venezuelan government or committing crimes in the U.S. on the government's orders, though it acknowledged that the conclusion was made with only moderate confidence, quote unquote, rather than high confidence. It also said that the FBI dissented with the opinion, claiming that the gang does in fact have a connection to the Venezuelan government. If it's true, then once again the intelligence community is using media leaks to thwart Trump's agenda. The president is right now in a legal dispute with a D.C. district judge as to whether the administration is illegally applying the Alien Enemies Act, which gives Trump the authority to remove illegal aliens from a hostile nation without a formal court hearing. That any intelligence personnel are aligning themselves with, quote unquote, the resistance again is something that CIA Director John Ratcliffe and FBI head Kash Patel are going to need to address, and address it immediately. This is the exact same playbook used in Trump's first term. To cripple his presidency, the intelligence community, the FBI in particular, steadily piled on all too willing reporters at the Washington Post, CNN, the New York Times, with information that was either wrong, out of context, or at a minimum in dispute. It worked to a stunning effect back then, as we all remember, keeping the jittery public on edge every single day of those 4 years, weakening support for effectively everything Trump tried to do. That should not happen again. The president's authority on all things immigration should not be something that requires a defense. Even the far-left Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals appreciates extreme executive discretion on the issue, especially from this president's own intelligence agencies. So I bring this up because, again, we're joking on the Epstein files and what we're getting from Pam Bondi and what she's doing, and I continue to see some displeasure grow on social media with her day in, day out. And Kash is there at the FBI, and Ratcliffe's there at the CIA. How is it possible that this could happen again?
I know how it's possible. Imagine you're here to do a show, and we just go, nah, and we just talk to each other. And we're going to scuttle you and scuttle your show, and it's all over. I think he's got too many people in the mid-level who aren't going up to Kash, and they're like, scuttle, 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 just like the judges are scuttling everything Trump does. I think there are too many. I think they have to heave a lot of bodies out there, because I think part of it, their plan is to play the long game. We're just gonna wait for the next 4 years and let him go away. He's got to, as you said, give an enema to the FBI. It's got to happen. Intel too. It's too important. People don't realize the importance of the intel. I mean, how many of those agencies are there? When they're all working against, because remember, they tried to put Major Flynn in prison because he was like, hey, look, this is bad. They go, uh-oh, we got to get rid of Flynn.
Yeah, and every one of those agencies has its first priority is self-survival. So anytime Trump is in the path of destroying and wrecking their scams and their business as usual money-making laundering systems, they're going to do everything to subvert that to survive. So I think that's they're up against a machine and a monster that's so big that it's literally it's going to take everybody at the top with Trump's inner circle to take him down, and they got to get rid of they've got to do their own investigations on their own internal staffs.
Right.
You know what? Now that Dan Bongino's with the FBI, I feel a heap better.
Me too. I think he's
I think it was
above
too much for
reproach.
Cash Patel. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting about you mentioning that? Because every time I listened to a show and he would talk about the intelligence agencies, he would say he has FBI people coming to him. So I'm sure now he's kind of coalescing with those people that he knows he can trust to say, okay, how do we kind of purge the remaining bureaucrats in here that are going to go against every order, everything that we want to do? Let's get them out. Let's root them out. And let's bring up the people that are going to listen to orders and do what we need them to do. Because that's the cancer you were talking about earlier, Kevin. The cancer is in there. We just have to find it and then root it out.
Here's some optimism, though. Some optimism. First, there's no Jeff Sessions there. There's no James Comey. There's no Christopher Wray. There's cash. Okay, number one. We have that in the CIA. We have that with the Attorney General. We have that now. Before, he had these political hacks that were in there enabling and allowing this stuff. Now we have outsiders that have come in, for the most part, except for Ratcliffe. We have outsiders in there that are going to be looking at this stuff and saying, we know what to look for because you pulled this stuff last time. Trump's probably saying the same thing. Everything you guys said, I totally agree with because it's so deep and that mid-level is going to. But this time around, I think they got game.
I think so, too.
I think they have the right people. Dan Bongino.
I agree with you.
You don't think for a second Bongino's not walking through those halls ready to put someone in a headlock and do some noogies on their head?
Yep.
I mean, these are the kind of guys we have and gals we have in there that are going to change it.
If I could just throw it out there, I really want to say the big winners in this, besides the American people, if this goes that, is the people on the ground, the agents on the ground who are on the front lines, fighting criminals, and with such poor leadership above them. I mean, it's a shame, really, that they got to go to work knowing that there's that upper mid-level is so corrupted.
Oh, man, it's got to be so discouraging just going day to day and doing your job. He'll clean it. I have confidence. I've said this before, maybe sometimes a little blind faith, but this is why we wanted the guy in the office.
Yep.
So
I mean, these guys are going into drug raids and cartels, and the leadership from the top down is brutal. I mean, the morale there has to be on the lowest it's ever been for the real down and dirty hero who's out in there fighting the good fight. So
look at ICE.
Yeah,
ICE has got some mojo.
Yeah.
Tom Holman, ICE,
military is getting its numbers back up.
Military, there's real good stuff. America's back, folks. That's what I want to say.
Yep. I love it.
America's back.
And remember, too, as well, when it comes to this intelligence problem, Eisenhower pointed it out beforehand, and you saw it with the memo that was just released. So it's been out there for what, now, 60 years?
Yep.
It's huge. So it's going to take a lot to clear it out.
It's a full colonic.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back from the America First Warehouse on a Friday night right after this.
So Billy says this thing. He goes, Billy said to me, he goes, I got you something. I got you a present. It's a guy. He's wearing an ice jacket and he's got credentials around his neck, and I think he's hanging out at like a Home Depot. Yeah, and there's a pinko interviewing him. He goes, oh, you think you're here to scare me? You think what you're doing is funny? He goes, I think it's hilarious. Then he walks away all bit. Well, you could see what kind of people we're dealing with. Yeah. Well, all right. You know what? I'll show you what kind of people we're dealing with when it's my turn. I mean, I've got some videos that are just appalling. That is crazy. Yeah. Oh, I hate communists. God, I hate them.
And isn't it amazing
Yes, St. Valentine's Day Massacre style.
Isn't it amazing that the
Hello?
the device of choice is a Molotov, a Soviet
Oh, yeah. I mentioned that. I
A
mentioned that
Soviet,
on the air.
a Soviet thing.
Oh, everyone.
Paul, you got, I'm gonna
Rick,
come to you.
that's my friend Billy.
Hey, Billy.
I'll do one. This way we keep
Major
it moving.
patriot. I thought he's got to see this place. And I thought there was a big
no
crowd to it.
sports, so.
Sorry about that. And this is Dee. This is Vin. And this is Paul. That's my friend Billy.
And what's up, Billy?
Hey, how you doing?
Major patriot.
Thanks for coming.
By the way, my sister-in-law Mary Pat. I don't know. Are we on Facebook right now live?
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
I didn't know if the commercial breaks went there.
Yeah.
She's funny. She goes, "The fans here are too much."
Yeah. Mary
They
Pat
picked on
just
all of you
posted.
guys a lot.
You
And she
better
also
say something.
said the lighting isn't as bad as people are complaining about, but Damon should have changed out of his PJs for the show. Careful, she's 114 pounds of terror, Damon. Stay away from it. Don't engage.
3 reads.
You're kidding
Oh,
me.
my God.
Yowza.
3 reads. All right, I'll just do one story.
Uh-oh. All right.
Birch Gold Wellness Company.
Yeah, Gerald Hawkins saying
Hey,
it
I
feels
got
like
a Harry
216,
update,
but better.
guys.
You have a Harry update?
Yeah, I went to surgery late, went in at 6, and no. The whole audience asking in the chat. You didn't mention it? He's doing terrific. He's got his toe.
All right, sound like the blues on a Friday night. Let me talk to you about our friends at Birch Gold. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hits all-time highs the first part of 2025. It's not too late for you either. The company that you can trust to help you diversify into physical gold is Birch Gold. The company you can buy your gold from. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. Just listen to some of the 5-star reviews. They say knowledgeable, helpful, not pressured at all. That's what you get with Birch Gold, and that's why Rav has endorsed them for so long. Get your free information kit on gold by texting the word America to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, text the word America to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Text America to the number 989898 and do it today. Well, it's a new day in America and a new administration in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of excitement and optimism about the future. But the reality is there's a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to simply go away. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared. That's where the Wellness Company comes in. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of all medications. So from flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Go to www.twc.health/voice. www.twc.health/voice. Make America Healthy Again starts at home. Do your part right now. Go to twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Well, let's be honest, we're not getting any younger. And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to keep you happy and healthy with every one of your health goals, whether it's boosting your energy, trimming your belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, bumping up your testosterone, or even reducing swelling in your legs. Pure Health Research, their supplement store has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the USA. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. Go there right now, purehealthresearch.com, all one word, and use coupon code 6B at checkout. They have a 365-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk in trying something new, so why wait? Head over to purehealthresearch.com right now. Explore their 45 amazing supplements and save 35% before this deal ends with coupon code 6B. Don't miss this chance to feel your best. purehealthresearch.com, 35% off with promo code 6B at checkout. All right, 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news with Paul Nolan. Mr. Nolan is here. What's going on?
Well, one of the first things that I thought was really interesting today was, if you guys didn't see it, France is really looking out for their citizens. Did you guys see what they're doing?
No.
Oh, yeah. France is preparing to issue a survival manual to all households for how to handle a nuclear war.
Oh, that's very nice.
So apparently there's a 10 bullet points, including put your head between your butt and kiss it goodbye. But it says the document consists of about between 10 and 20 pages, and it's divided into 3 parts, according to the Europe Radio. First is being how to protect yourself and those around you. It suggests to have a survival kit, including 6 liters of bottled water, 10 cans of food, batteries, flashlight, medical supplies, and a full 23-foot lead shield. So this is just a stupid story. I just can't believe that Macron and his husband Charlie, I guess, is looking out for their citizens while they're preparing everybody for war. So
sounds like a trip to Home Depot.
Did they mention getting a gun for the hordes of Muslim rapists who are preying on their women and throughout all of Western Europe? Did they
That's a
mention
memo
that?
they should put out.
That's one of the reasons they're trying to bring that here. But I will Second Amendment any slime bag that comes near any woman I know.
It's just brilliant. Oh, it's too funny. But
all right, what else, Paul?
What was it? I lost my page here. So, yeah.
Did you see the Giants, by the way, Paul? Speaking of sports, for just 1 second, since Slick's not here, signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal today, $8 million deal.
Really?
You know what?
Jameis Winston, yeah.
To me, I hope they trade their first pick, move down in the draft, maybe get the kid Dart from Mississippi State.
Yes.
And then at that point right there, even keep him on the bench. Let Winston throw 48 interceptions and then get Cooper Manning's kid the following year, because that kid's a can't-miss superstar waiting to happen.
Wow.
So that's what I would do. But I guess one of the stories that I thought was interesting was Trump announces that they're drawing up a new map in Ukraine. President Trump told Friday the reporters that they're negotiating dividing up the land between Russia and Ukraine. And he said the development has come as negotiations on an energy and infrastructure ceasefire is already being discussed. An energy and infrastructure ceasefire appears to refer to the cessation of attacks on those types of facilities. They're also discussing a maritime ceasefire that would presumably spell the end of the Ukrainian strikes on the Russian Black Sea Fleet. Trump did not outline the ceasefire, how it would take place, but indicated it would come pretty darn soon. He said they're fighting against each other. I think they're going to have to ceasefire in a lot of areas, and so far that's all held up very well. In getting a ceasefire, they're going to have a lot of guns pointed at each other, and you had some soldiers, unfortunately, surrounding the other soldiers. So I believe we'll have a ceasefire pretty soon. So that's what I got here for this segment.
All right, very good. President Trump also announced today that, because a lot of people, as they saw the Department of Education, and I can speak firsthand because I have sending my first child to college, so a lot of people deal with FAFSA, and they have to, unfortunately, you have to deal with the federal government on a lot of this stuff. And people were wondering, well, if we get rid of the Department of Education, what happens to all the kids who are looking for federal loans and stuff like that? President Trump announced today Kelly Loeffler at the Small Business Administration will take over student loans from the Department of Education. And then HHS Secretary RFK Jr. will take over all the special needs programs.
Wow.
So people wondering what was going to happen there. Well, that's what's going to happen there. And I think taking FAFSA and stuff into the SBA. By the way, I also saw something today that the FBA is going to cut about 40% of its staff. I think I saw that headline today as well. So try to trim some of the fat off of that. Vin, that's interesting, bringing the loans and stuff into this SBA.
I like the move a lot from someone that financed a lot of money to send my daughter to college and gone through the system. The system is just, it's okay and all, but it's an arbitrary system. The SBA, they actually have a system, a process. They have fundamentals. They work with most major banks in the country. There's a lot more competitiveness that would happen, through the SBA for loans that you might need. And not just for the students, because the latest thing in the racket of college ripoffs is that they get the parents. They give the kids a little bit of money just to wet their beak, and then they're like, well, if you want more, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, let's just see what kind of house you got, and then we'll give you the money. Here you go. Here's $70,000 a year. No problem. Take it. You don't have to pay for it, until they get out of school and 10 more years. So having the SBA involved, I think, is a good thing. They understand how to do it. They're funding businesses. There seems to be a real system and process. And letting 40% of that staff go is just an indication of fat in every department that just needs to go. It's very simple.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Kevin Downey Jr. coming up when we get back right after this on a Friday night from the America First Warehouse. We're back.
We can whip you up something here. I got a little hot plate. I got a hot plate here. What do you want?
It looks like, as Slick Rick said, it looks like.
We got some. What do we have, Paul? We have that chicken tartare. Yeah, we got the chicken tartare for your friend. We can have it as much of it as you want. We have a couple left over.
You got to see his house. It's, what do you call it, the compound or something?
Compound, yeah.
There's 2 old Corvettes in the house. It's not really a house. What did he used to be?
The bottom floor used to be, I guess, old garages, but we knocked them all out.
And you wouldn't really know it's a house, but you walk in, there's a bar, there's video game or pinball machines, then there's another bar. It's amazing how, and just patriotic stuff everywhere.
Wow,
Cool.
very cool.
We'll do a show there next.
Yeah, we're taking it on the road.
We're going to do a remote.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you see this place?
Where are you? Where's the place?
It's in Huntington.
Oh, yeah.
We had 80 people for the last show over there.
Wow.
All patriots and diehard MAGA. They're not Republicans, not conservatives, just as MAGA as you could be.
Wow.
Every one of them.
I got a guy coming from California. You're going to love him.
A
I
comic?
see he's coming. He was performing when I was down there for the inauguration. The guy came out with a garbage bag on.
Oh.
It says "Garbage Lives Matter." Very dry sense of humor, but a real.
I thought he was dressing up as Tawana Brawley.
Oh, my God. There's a name really from the past, man. Wow.
Wow.
Remember that story?
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
How could you
The
forget
birth
that
of fake
story?
news.
That
30 minutes.
You guys know on Rumble you can hear all
yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it all on all social media. We're
Yep.
always live in the commercial breaks, yeah.
That's badass.
You mean right now? Ah.
I'm so.
Can you hear me now?
Right.
You got 1 minute.
All our socials, we stay live in the commercials.
I got 1 minute. Thanks again, buddy. It's outside.
Guys,
Hey, man.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Offer still stands. That chicken tartare is available for you.
New York, baby.
He had a party, and it's all like, it's kind of like like looks like this, but with 2 bars, and with a great bourbon selection.
Really? That's why you like him. It's the bourbon.
The bourbon.
There's an ulterior motive.
Yeah, can we still up in here? Because I brought some.
I was going to ask, and I was like,
I don't think so. Where's Joe the boss? You can't smoke in here, Joe, cigars, right?
if my wife wasn't here, it would be no problem.
No, but I mean, legally, can you smoke in a building? All right, live from Studio 6B. On a Friday night, America's First Warehouse, just talking to Joe the Box. I said, Joe, can we smoke cigars in here? Someone pick them up off the floor, please. Over.
That's not a fire hazard in a warehouse. Hey, come on.
Yeah, packed with flags.
Can
and
we
posters.
barbecue here, Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good.
Well, I can't wait for people to come here and see this place. So those of you who are going to come on Friday nights,
you can't prepare yourself for it. It's perfect.
And you're going to feel great when you leave.
It's fantastic. The place is perfect.
Yeah. So Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 9 to 11 weekdays on LI News Radio, where you're listening to us right now. He's got some news. KDJ, what's going on?
Thank you, Big D. I thought we'd lighten it up before I tell you about all the Singaporeans dying of the shot. So you've got a couple videos there.
Okay. No, I don't.
What?
Let me check.
Erin said she sent them somewhere.
Okay.
I'll take the check, please, and another round of drinks. Thank you.
Well, let me.
Yes.
Okay. Erin.
Can someone give
Don't
him
play
his
the
password?
Kennedy one.
I don't have them.
Okay.
I've said this before. I don't. Let me check the spam.
I'll just get to the dead Singaporeans then.
There we go.
Resend.
You had a shot to really inspire us there, Kevin.
All right. Let's get to the death and mayhem. Here's what's going on. So, Singapore paying the price for COVID vaccines. This comes from Slay News. Here's what's going on. I'll just cut it. I mean, I can read my broadcaster's voice from Singapore sounding the alarm after the government published chilling new statistics revealing a devastating plunge in population numbers as deaths continue to surge among the COVID vaccinated. So Singapore is the third most vaccinated nation in the world. And what's going on is they're falling like flies. And they're not reproducing enough. So everyone has a birth-death scale.
Yeah.
Singapore's is down 39% as of the 2022 booster era. Now, check this out. They have given out 270 vaccines or boosters for every 100 people. So that means, some of them didn't get any. Some of them got 4, 5, 6. Oof. And they're falling down dead. And Singapore is going nuts. They're going nuts. I'm telling you, this tells me that the vaccine is doing exactly what the globalists meant it to do. This is depopulation. We're going to kill off as many people as possible. Hey, World Economic Forum says don't grow any tomatoes because we'll come after you for that too. They are really in trouble. Their birth rates are down and their death rates are skyrocketing. Now, most people will have a reaction within 43 days afterwards. So even if you've had 7 or 8, I'm not saying you're out of the woods, but if you get past that, that's 43 days. Unfortunately, a lot of people the more you've had, I think these shots were not meant to kill you outright. I get you 3 or 4 of them and get you worked into it with something that maybe no one really found. We could ask Pfizer, but they wanted to hold on to that for 75 years. They lost that in court.
Sounds
and they had
reasonable.
Yeah, they had to spill it all out. Now
it's like JFK files.
Yep. And now there's more bad news from Japan. Leading medical researchers have found that people who got the COVID vaccines, and they're dying of heart issues, and they're finding little scars in their hearts. Little scars. And, of course, we're finding those clots. The clots as well. But they've just found tiny scars for people who have gotten the mRNA vaccines. And they said there's nothing they can do that they know of yet for people who are starting to say, hey, I got 3 or 4 of those. What can we do to keep me alive? And right now, I don't know that there's much they can do. Some people, I know people who have had adverse effects, physical injuries, people who got sick and whatnot. But it looks like Singapore is really getting clobbered. Japan, they're on it. I don't think these places are giving out vaccines anymore. There's just too many people dying as planned by the World Economic Forum.
How obsessive do you have to be to have 6 or 7 boosters or vaccines? How progressively obsessed are you as a country or as a person to think you got to have 6 or 7 shots of a vaccine of any kind for anything?
You know what I think it is, Vin? I think it's a couple of things. Number one, the people who are getting the shots firmly believe that they are morally superior to us. We're the animals, and they're the ones getting the shots. Look, I'm not going to kill a granny, but when Rachel Madcow said, hey, get the shots, and you can't get it and you can't share it, then why would you care if I got the shot?
Right.
And that's when I had kind of figured, I think we're on the same team here.
I think so. And you know what I think part of it is, too? a lot of these people trusted their doctors and their governments and said, you know what, yeah, I want to stay alive. And they kind of,
yes,
they trusted them, but also they guilted them. It's like, you don't
manipulated them.
You know, because that's part of the propaganda, right? You don't want to kill grandma. You don't want to kill this person. You don't want to kill that. So make sure everybody's safe. And everybody's like, it sounds reasonable for most people who kind of didn't really look into anything. That sounded reasonable at the time. Now, in hindsight, they're probably like, what the hell was I thinking? And it's too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
And you know, they talk about the scarring on the heart. We heard about that within the first year. We heard about that. Right. We heard about these long clots that the
pulling out of the
autopsies. When they're pulling out
at funeral homes.
Right, at funeral homes, they're pulling these things out. They're like, what is this stuff? This is all stuff they're seeing now around the globe. And again, that
is scary.
It's scary because a lot of these people. And again, even in this country, it was, well, why would they do that to us? You know, this is our government. We trust them.
People we trusted.
They banked on that trust.
It was like history of the world. These are my people. I'm their sovereign. Pull!
Right.
Killing people.
Right.
You know what, Rick? There's a guy. I'm not going to say which station. New York City has 2 or 3 50,000-watt news stations, AM, and there's a doctor who calls into one of them every Monday, and he starts with, remember, folks, just because it's getting warm out doesn't mean you don't need another COVID shot.
Yeah.
He's still pushing them.
It's not only that, but the same with the flu shot. It's like the flu shot never works. Because they're always behind. They're like, oh, well, we got the flu shot, but that's from last year's flu.
Yep.
So you're already at 50%, if that, according to most doctors. And even then, it kind of dwindles down to about 30% effectiveness.
Use a D every day.
And that now they want to stir it up, and it's like, oh, we're going to do a cocktail of the COVID and the flu shot together. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, let's add some formaldehyde to that.
Right.
They not only scared us, Rick, to the point you're making, they also divided us. Because if you were a MAGA,
right,
and a vaccine denier, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
You're a MAGA. You're this fanatical thing. And, of course, we all turned out to be pretty good and right, by the way, on this particular issue. But they use that to divide us during an election.
Right. And this was the first time we saw the elites use like Event 201 to simulate what went on, and they knew that they could use social governance, where it would be peer pressure amongst one another. It was a test run to see how well people would comply and who would and who wouldn't. There's a list of the people who were for it or against it, and if and when they roll out something else, you know who they're coming for first.
Yeah, and they kicked us off of Twitter and whatnot for saying, hey, I don't like this shot. I think this is bogus. And people were just censored. There's a new thing from USAID censoring people. But look, there's even more bad news. KDJ, say it isn't so.
Say it isn't so.
A team of 22 leading researchers at the Global Vaccine Data Network, they looked at 99 million vaccinated people, and they said, wow, there is an alarming surge of heart failure and other deadly adverse events. It has now been proven, beyond the shadow of the doubt, that that shot is killing people. And I without a doubt believe that was the intention of the shot. Why would Joe Biden try to mandate a shot? Except you didn't have to get it if you were on welfare or if you were coming over the southern border. If you were a famous tennis player, you can't come into the country. 10 million people coming over? Absolutely. Why the welfare people? Because the government already owns them. They give them their food, they give them their food stamps, they give them a place to live. Once those people, they're owned by the government. They can't do anything. It's always been the middle class, all right? Stalin wiped out the kulaks because he couldn't control them. They were self-sufficient. Now they're all dead. They're all dead. And that's what I think this thing, when Biden said, I want everyone to get the shot, I think that was to wipe out we the people who aren't from south of the border and aren't on welfare.
Yeah, the middle class had just a little too much freedom.
Yep. I also think it was the left's way of taking control of our mind share and winning the election. Once they realized this COVID thing maybe they planned this all along, was a tool, that's how they stole the election. When Trump talks about stealing the election, these are the things he's talking about. They manipulated a situation to garner more votes and steal the election. Simple as that, using COVID.
Yeah, the endless blood drip on CNN, D, right?
Yeah, exactly. We talked about it at the time, right? They had those death numbers up there in focus. It
was almost like every time someone died, they cheered.
Seems like so long ago, but it was
some crazy.
Yeah, and then as soon as Biden came into office, those death numbers disappeared.
Yeah.
No more.
Hey, KDJ, before we hit the break, let's throw this video up, Aaron. Let's see how KDJ describes, how would you describe this person right here? walking up to a Tesla.
All right.
Oh,
Look at this animal.
Oh, no.
Look at
No,
this animal. One.
no.
Oh, no, there's more. Hold on. There's I got two. There's another. I need another mud bunny. Come on. I've got three's a magic charm. But no, we're going for four. We're going for four. Boom. There you go, Nazi.
Now, how much you want to bet he sniffs his fingers?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's disgusting.
Isn't it? And we're the bad guys. We're the animals. That's the party of class right there.
Yeah.
crazy.
The radical, violent, demented left.
Crazy.
January 6th, bring it, blah, blah, blah.
That'll show them. Do people realize that all these Teslas have cameras on them yet? I guess with these people who are going away for
They're finding out.
people who are now getting arrested and going to be going away
That
for
professor who got nailed was great.
they're going to find out. All right, KDJ, very good. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 9 to 11 on 103.9 LI News. Rick Delgado, let's do some more news with you. What else is going on?
All
today?
right. I don't know if you've seen this. This is a great video coming out from our own very own New York City subways, as a video of a long fight between a man and a woman traveling on the New York subway went viral, not only for what was happening on the train, but what happened immediately after the train ride, where she decided to follow this guy. This is cut number 2. You got to see this to believe it. And memes make themselves. Cut 2. Check this out.
That's why he won. People like you.
Now she's angry at him because he's got a
That is
magnet.
why he won, because the people like you need to stop and let him live.
So of course she's calling the guy who's half black a racist.
Standard operating procedure.
Does that make sense? But believe it or not, a lot of people on the subway, there's one guy in particular who's calling her out.
Highly educated.
Oh, are you?
I don't know how long the Democrats have been running New York since who knows how long.
This is just healthy subway talk. That's good stuff.
Well, this is my stuff. I hope you enjoy the hat.
Because she's going to follow him out of the train, and here she goes. Boom!
Dodo bird.
Oh, in the face.
She must be a former New York Jets player.
So there she
Down
is.
goes crazy.
Face
tackle for the
planting
Jets.
after she chases him off the train, trying to grab his hat. But yeah, liberals they're so very, very nice people.
Oh,
They're
patient.
I
real-
mean, I saw that. Who else? I saw some. We've been talking about how their answer to everything is just to double down. I saw something else today. I think it was Costco. Their board of directors voted on DEI today overwhelmingly to keep it all in place.
Oh, my goodness.
Or something to that. I think it was them.
Really?
Just another example of them looking at what's going on and going, no, I think we need to do more of it. Yeah, but I think we need to do more of what we've done to get ourselves in the
As long as
party
it wasn't the FAA.
at historically low.
Yeah, at some board meeting, huh? Who didn't harumph? Right there, Rick? I didn't hear a harumph.
All right, we'll wrap it up for a Friday right after this at the America First Warehouse. Need to trim the gain on those mics. Everybody's still on the audio. I don't get it.
Who's that, Rick Rubin watching?
You would think.
Hey, this is why we're doing it here. We're just trying to figure it out, right? Like at the set, the lighting.
Rick, did you talk about Cory
SPF?
Bush's husband? No. Oh, he got caught stealing COVID funds.
Did you guys play speaking of husbands, did you guys play Alec Baldwin's husband?
Oh, God. That was
No, we
Talk
didn't.
about a cock.
Hilarious.
Holy
That was
I actually
embarrassing.
felt sorry for him.
You don't talk.
You know,
when I
watching
talk.
that.
Yeah, well,
You don't talk when I talk. She does her fake Spanish accent.
Fake accent. How
Yeah.
do you say cucumber? Shut up. We say crazy.
see it. You can see the crazy all over her.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because you actually see him make the face like, see what I got to deal with?
This is what I'm going home to every day.
Yeah.
And
I
be
wonder
like-
why I'm in the Midwest,
It's crazy.
West Coast shooting people.
But he actually looks. You almost kind of feel bad for him. It's like, what does he have to deal with this?
I did feel bad
Tough.
for him, and I don't like him.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad for him. That's the bet he made, and he's delivered so much hate.
Yeah, I know.
He's
Do not like
he's
that
disgusting.
guy, but that was an awkward moment, man. Every guy can feel that pain when the wife gives you a lecture on something.
Yeah, but not like that. I mean,
No, brutal.
I mean, your prison cellmate might do that to you, but not your wife. Can I say this? I don't think you can say that.
Say what?
It's goblin.
I was going to call that guy and ask him. Stinkerbell. That's who he is. He's Stinkerbell. Putting his hand up his bahookie. Smearing it on a car because the guy in the
was
news
wretched.
told him Elon's a Nazi. Imagine being so weak and easily controlled.
Oh, my goodness.
You saw that Joe Biden try to make a comeback?
Yeah.
Huh? Pretty interesting stuff.
Look at that. They must have given him his Adderall.
Or maybe I should step back in.
Yeah. I heard he has no idea how bad he is. I heard his.
Oh, yeah. I think it's totally that.
Totally.
Yeah, his
Amazing.
narcissism
His
and,
ego
and
is so
dementia.
huge that he has no idea how pathetic.
That he's the worst
Narcissist
person in the room.
and dementia at once is an interesting combo.
What happened?
Narcissism and dementia at the same
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
That's a daily double,
some
man.
goes to better like peanut butter and jelly.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Vinnie Max here, Paul Nolan, Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado. Slick took the night off. He's at a fundraiser. He'll be back next Friday when we will be back here at the America First Warehouse. Let's try to get to everybody here before we wrap it up. Vinnie Mac, I'll start with you and go right down the line. Anything else that you've seen in the news today or anything else on your radar before we wrap it up?
Of course. Two things. How about winning?
Yeah.
How about the amount of winning we're doing? Johnson & Johnson announces a $55 billion investment over the next 4 years to manufacture some of our healthcare products in the United States. We don't have to go to China. Remember what
Nice.
happened
Maybe
in
we
COVID?
get someone to make antibiotics here.
Yeah, I'm probiotic, but if you want to be anti, that's good. We can talk about
Nice.
that. And a Canadian company, because of these tariffs, a furniture company that has a small little facility in North Carolina decided to close their factory in Canada and move it to North Carolina. We are winning every day. Every day. And I think you had mentioned about this Tesla professor. Right, someone did. I forgot who mentioned it, but there's a Tesla.
Yeah.
A professor was caught. He's from the University of Michigan.
Yep.
You know, whatever. You know, trying to ruin a Tesla. That's our education system right now in a nutshell. You wonder why our kids, and a lot of them come out like fanatical progressives and don't have a clue. It's professors like this at a great college, University of Michigan. But Trump is winning. At Columbia, they just caved. $400 million that Trump said, I'm holding back. You're not going to get it till you change all this anti-Semitic stuff and so on and so forth. And, and they completely, did their little 180 here now. Thank goodness they did. Columbia, I know a lot of people who went to Columbia and to Bard College. Big Jewish communities. How are they getting away with this?
I know a lot of people who went to Nassau Community College. I don't know anybody who went to Columbia, but
Ivy League
tells you who we hang out with.
Well, it's funny. All those people that went to Columbia, none of them had classes with Barack Obama. Crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't showing up for anything.
Yeah. Weird.
But these are just all little tidbits here, Dame, of the amount of winning that Trump is doing on a daily basis. Every day, people freak out. He's pulling money from colleges. This is, the Zelensky thing. He's having a fight. He's pro-Russia. All these things, they get resolved in a day or two, a week or so, and then boom, we're having peace negotiations with Russia, temporary ceasefire. Colombia's caving. J&J's throwing money in. It's just one thing after another. So I think end this on a positive note. We're winning.
Yeah, the New York Post has the piece on the Columbia caves to Trump's demand after $400 million threat. We'll institute a mask ban. Finally get rid of the masks.
Yes.
And more oversight on anti-Semitism on campus. And start arresting students if they have to. They're going to empower 36 campus cops to arrest students. So just what you said. By the way, the governor of Maine, Janet Mills, remember her at the dinner that Trump was at? And she tried to play tough?
Yep.
Yeah, well, she's caved as well.
Yep. Oh, bye.
So just add that to the list of women.
I still don't understand. I can't wrap my head around Ivy League schools getting $400 million from the government.
With a
How is that remotely possible?
And it's amazing. All their students seem to be really good at spray painting Nazi symbols and attacking Jews.
Yeah. And you wonder why the cost of college is such a scam. Why the cost of college has just done this. And they're getting endowments of billions of dollars, and they're still turning around and charging us what they're charging us. It's crazy.
And you know why they can? Because the government is writing the checks.
Yeah.
The banks were smart enough to get out of that business and said, nope, we don't want to do this anymore. There's too much risk. And the government turns around and says, we'll do it because we're using tax money. Yeah. We don't care if they forfeit on the loan.
You don't need our money.
Right.
But we're going to give it to you.
We're going to give it to you anyway.
There you go.
And all of a sudden, now the colleges are like, ha.
Yeah, and not just that. Can you guys get your scientists over there to give us a climate study that makes everything in our ESG agenda look beautiful? Oh, you can't? We're not giving you the money. That's how it's been going in those Ivy League schools for a long time.
Yeah.
But people don't really put this together, that anti-Semitism is racism. If this were, I hate to even use the word George Floyd, but if this were a racist issue on these campuses, this would have been shut down in a New York minute. People would be going crazy. Anti-Semitism is racism. As simple as that. But it's not the selective racism that really annoys people. If it were the black and white racism, where they take these, ridiculous extreme cases and riot cities, that's fine. But the anti-Semitism, no, that's no good.
Right.
That's not racism, really. We're going to let them get away with this for how long? 2 years now? I mean, come on.
Yeah. One other thing before I get to the rest of the guys here, I saw today, speaking of winning, Ron DeSantis and Doge got together, and they figured out, he said, Ron DeSantis says tonight, for years, Florida's been trying to return federal funds to the federal government due to the ideological strings attached by the Biden administration. But they couldn't even figure out how to accept the money back. Today I met with Elon Musk and the Doge team, and we got this done. And it says, at the direction of Governor DeSantis and following his meeting with Elon Musk, the state of Florida is formally returning $878 billion
Holy cow.
in taxpayer dollars to the federal government as part of Doge's efforts. The specifics are below. We will continue to identify other unused or surplus federal funding granted to Florida and determine if further funds can be made. And Elon Musk tweeted this out tonight saying $1 billion of your taxpayer money saved.
Wow, that's like the sales of stone crab claws. About equal what they're doing.
Wait, what was the number? How much was
878,112,000.
Nearly $1 billion.
Nearly $1 billion.
Well,
KDJ, anything else on your radar tonight?
Oh, yeah. Check this out. You know that Haminazi kid from Colombia? I think his name Mahmoud. That guy?
Yeah.
He
nice pronunciation.
Easy for you to say.
Check this out. Again in the broadcast voice. Protest against the arrest of pro-Palestinian scumbag. Anyway, I'll just make this short. This group, CUAD, stands for Columbia University Apartheid Divest. Wouldn't you know it? They're funded by the CCP. What? Folks, why is China buddying up with Islam? Because they're going to be the two driving forces of the New World Order.
Yeah.
There it is. There's no reason for China to do that. Yes, they do want riots. That is a big part of it. One of the 45 goals of communism is to foment riots amongst students at universities. Exactly what this is. Just as they said in 1963. And I'm telling you, as sure as the sun will rise, the religion of pieces is in cahoots with China.
Wow.
And they're coming for us.
There you go.
It makes sense, man. It totally makes sense.
Well, they're blowing things up.
Yeah. One from column A, one from column B.
Yeah. All right, KDJ, make sure you listen to him each weekday mornings, 9 to 11.
I did not know
right here
that.
on 103.9 LI News. Rick Delgado, any last news from you?
Yeah, a little bit here from the Gavin Newsom podcast, Damon.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Timmy Waltz?
As he attempts to espouse some right-leaning views to make himself more conservative-friendly. He was talking with Charlie Kirk when he was talking about how he never uses the term Latinx, doesn't know anybody in his office that does.
Never heard of
So then CNN's Aaron Burnett, believe it or not, decides, hey, maybe there could be something to this. Check this out. This is cut number 1, Gavin Newsom and Latinx.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx. I'm
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
where did that even
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him.
Oops.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. And look, these aren't minor shifts. These are progressive issues that Gavin Newsom used to champion until fairly recently. And now he's not just walking away from them. He's sort of acting like they were never legitimate with that clip talking about Latinx in the first place. But let's take Latinx. We did find somebody who used it repeatedly in his office. Let's take a listen to this.
There it is.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community, the Latinx and black communities. We've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
Yeah, so there you have it. Latinx never uttered in his office, only by him.
His rebranding is going well.
Captain Plastic.
As always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel. Thanks to everybody on the show. Thanks to the America First Warehouse, Joe the Box, all the staff, Martin, Aaron, Frank. Great job as always. Thanks to everybody. 1 in the books. We'll continue to make it better, and then we'll see you here, not in the too distant future. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Hope you have a great time. We'll see you on Monday night, back live from Studio 6B.